That's exactly, but a lot longer than that. So you determine during this level of friendship if their character is character you can put up with for the rest of your life. And are there any blind spots you can help them with? And will they let you help them with their blind spots? Or do they become the man? I am the head. You are under me. Ugh. I have my club. I man. You woman, go cave now. And they are your head forever. Can you live with that head, girl? That's why you must find out during your courting, do they have what you need to correct your blind spots? Do you have what they need to correct their blind spots? And can you actually work with each other without killing each other? That's what we find out in dating. Will you survive the Cold War? And can you let the Cold War end in a reasonable amount of time? Because sure enough, that will happen during your courting years, that you will have problems. And you correct the blind spots. You give honest descriptions to each other. You are honest. Say we're honest. You don't pretend like, never mind, after I marry him, I'll change them. Because he's so cute. I overlook all this. Then when I get married to him, I make him do what I want. If he don't do what I want, I don't give him sex. I make him do what I want. Hey, there are some women that do that. You don't do what I like, I punish you. The other room. So you have to be honest. Say, be honest. Be honest with each other. And you have to direct each other and be honest and tell each other exactly what you wanted. You might ask questions in this level. Hey, how did your parents choose your name? What is your character? You're looking for their character. What are some of the goals in your life? That's what you discuss at this level, not at the other levels. What do you want to go? Which direction do you want to go? Is our marriage going to help us both go in the same direction? Are you going this way and I'm going that way? Your account's here and my account's there, and we don't know what each other's doing, and you do your own thing and I'll do my own thing. Then stay single. Why you need to get married for that? You do your thing, he does his thing. Don't need to get married. Why? How did you happen to get interested in what the career you want to go into? If you could have something right now, what would it be? What is what you desire more than anything right now? When I was in Bible school, there was guys that were interested in me. And I was such close with friends with a lot of guys. I wasn't with girls. And as we became close friends, as our level of friendship, we'd get to a certain point, and then they would say to me, what do you want to do with your life, Barb? And I say, I'm going overseas. The whole school knew I was going to be overseas, right? I think pretty much. It was like, Barb, overseas. And so one of the guys that I was good friends with, and we started to get close, and our friendship was pretty well maxed at the level it could be, and it had to go one way or the other. He said to me, Barb, are you going to be... I know what happened is I spoke in morning devotion. And after I spoke in morning devotion, the power of God came, and there was a lot of conviction, and God moved, and they closed up the classes that were following, and everybody prayed, and God just moved. And so the next day, the guy came up to me, and he wanted to talk to me, and he took me into the church auditorium, and I didn't know exactly where he was going, and he said, you know, Barb, he said, I could never date you, court you. And I said, I didn't even know we were thinking about courting. And I go, really? I said, can I ask why? You know, what is it about me that would not be, you know, a courting type of person? He said, because, he said, after you spoke, he said, I realized we would always be in competition. I said, competition? He said, yeah, you would be speaking, I would be speaking. You know, I would always feel like I have to do better than you. And I said, oh, you're right. We could never court because I don't have that philosophy. I don't think winning the loss is a competition. I personally think that a woman has a ministry just like a man. That God doesn't exclude genders. And if you think it's competition, you're not the type of person I could ever court. you're right. Let's just stay friends. So you find these things out when you start being honest with each other about where you're going in your life. So let's find out, what are the requirements for a good marriage? God's order, your basic objective, and relationships. And this I didn't put in there, so you'll have to write it on a back of your flip-flop, your paper, if you want it. These are the requirements for a total marriage. God's order. God's first order is that you must be one in spirit. So the first priority with God is spirit. You must be spiritual. That's why TJ tells you not to date till you're 21. Because up to 21, we want you building your spiritual man. We do not want you getting involved in the flesh. Because the flesh one is absolutely going to happen, 100% guarantee. So to help you not have this happen, because your hormones are at your maximum high now, we just say, don't do that right now for your own safety. Work on the spiritual man. And that's what God kind of likes too. So you are pleasing God when you're doing this. And what are your objectives when you're working on the spiritual? Is that you're trying to come together as one spirit. That is why you court. When it's time for you to court, when you have reached some of the goals that we're going to be setting, then it's time to work on the spirit of finding somebody who will be one with you in spirit. Okay? Now, during all these years up to that, you have a whole host of people in the church to observe and to see if they fall into the category of somebody who could be one with you in spirit. That's what you're doing now. Now you're looking for people who could possibly, when you get old enough, be someone who become one in spirit with you. Are you with me? Okay? What do? It's during this time that you court. And during your courting years, you ask the appropriate questions and you find out, are the two of you going the same direction? Are you both having the same desires? Are you both going to accomplish the same things for God? Are you both going to come together, or are you going to go apart after you get married? Because you have a desire for God and they have a desire for ping pong. I'm going to be the best ping pong player there's ever been. I want to win the lost. Well, then go to church by yourself. And unfortunately, we have seen even TJ people who have chosen the wrong life partner. And as a result, one goes one way and one comes alone. Why did that happen? Because somewhere down the line, they started looking for somebody who is not of the same spiritual level they were at. Someone compromised because they got too intimate and too close. They allowed their level of friendship to progress to a place where they never set a limit. That's why we're setting limits. And when you do that, you will end up being married to the wrong person and going the wrong direction. You got it? Level 2 of God's order. After you do the spirit, then you get your soul together. First, you make sure you've looked through the youth group up to your 21 and you find somebody who you think you could court. Now you go to the next level. That your intellect and your volitional and your emotional. Yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to look at. I would say vocational is what I would use instead of volitional, and that's what was on my chart when I put it in here. But I would say your soul. What would you say, Steve, is volitional? I didn't look that word up. He'll look it up for us right now. Thank you very much. So these are the areas in your soul that God wants you to connect together with while you're courting somebody. So what does it mean? You have a mental and an emotional oneness. Okay? This happens next after you know you are both on the same track spiritually. If you're not on the same track spiritually, you never court them. How do you know they're not on the same page spiritually? You're supposed to have been observing them. Do they even attend our church? Do they even believe the apostolic message? That one is a no-brainer. If they don't,